All right. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome. My name is Jennifer Olea. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Yuma, Arizona, and I love all things paper crafty fun. Today's fun fold is all things fall. I kind of pulled from a bunch of different places to make this card that I hope you guys like. So, with that being said, tell me if where you're watching this from, it's fall weather, because it is not fall weather where I'm watching it from. Well, it's our fall weather, which is not even fall yet. So we're still like knee deep in summer here. Like I said, Yuba, Arizona. So we're hot. But this year's been really humid, and that I don't like. But anyway, so I can pretend that it's fall with playing with all these gorgeous fall colors. So let's make the table bigger because really that's where all the paper crafting fun happens. So if you stumbled across this video, this is how you can find me on all the socials. Thank you so much. Okay, like I said, I pulled, trying to get the glare away off the camera. So some of the products that we're going to be using today to create this fun fold that I need the measurements for that are over on my table, I think. We'll see. Okay, two-tone Cajun Craze. I've said it probably the last 3 times I've been on video. Cajun Craze, definitely my favorite fall color. And I'm just going to put it away where it belongs. There we go. Okay. We are also going to be using, let's see, this. This is called Natural Hues. And you get, how much do you get? You get 3 pieces of paper, but it is, you guys see that? That's like homemade paper, like not machine. It probably is machine made, but it has all the little fibers in it, and I just love it. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to be using some of that today. We are going to be using some of this gorgeous. This is kind of coppery. It is radiant foils. There's 3 different designs here. It's only one-sided paper. My guess is it's thick, but because of the shininess to it. But we're going to be using some of that today. We're going to be using this gorgeous Designer Series paper a little bit. This guy is from the Sunflower Fields. The shiny paper that I just showed you, and this paper is all part of a suite. But we're going to be using some of this plaid, or I guess you could call that plaid, gingham. I don't know what to call it, but it's very pretty. Okay, so we're going to be using some of that. So after I got done with that whole big pile, my measurements are not there. Of course, we're sitting on my desk. So let's let me show you the card we're going to be making. First off, we're going to be using Misty Moonlight and as a card base. If you watched my live earlier this morning, I talked about Misty Moonlight, adding it to the fall colors like your Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, all that good stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it for the fun fold today. So this is our fun fold card. I'm going to call it an easy fun fold, but I really wanted to showcase this embossing folder. So I'm going to give you the measurements for this guy. You have to start out with a whole piece of cardstock, right? Where do I want this? Right here. Okay. So let's get the trimmer out. I actually took a trimmer to school because the teacher I worked with last year, she left and she took her paper cutter with her. She had every right to do, but I wanted a paper. I guess I should ask my boss, see if maybe there's a budget for a paper trimmer, or at least the blades, right? Okay. So let's see. We're going to start with a full size sheet of Misty Moonlight. we're going to cut it at 5.5. So logways, right? It's going to go at 5.5. Want that up there. Make sure. There's that. Okay, this you're just going to set to the side. Use it for something else. Now we're cutting off just a little teeny bit of this, and so we want it at 10.5. Okay, the reason I'm cutting it and not just scoring it is because I like when the card folds flat. Like if I use the whole piece of paper, this guy right here would butt up against this score line, and it usually doesn't lay flat. So this way we can get a nice good flat card. Okay, we're going to score this guy. You guys ready? We're going to score it at 2.5. Score at 2.5. And then 6 3/4. Okay, so that's our confold right there. Okay, do like this. Yeah. I would say my long hair off my arm, but my hair's not really that long anymore. Okay, we're gonna get a nice, clean fold here by burnishing this with your bulb folder. And actually, you could do it both ways. I think I talked about that last live. To get a nice flat card, flat-ish, right? Just breaking up those fibers. Okay, now this, the smaller part that was scored at 2.5, that's the front of your card. Okay, so I have, let's do some, I have a piece of this designer series paper from the Sunflower Fields. It's 2.5. No, it's 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I have some seal here, so we're going to add that. Right. Like so. Now I have some of that fiber, the natural hues paper, right? Okay, so this is 3.5 by 5 1/4. 3.5 by 5 1/4. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to run it through the machine. With this new textured tree ring. And so it just depends on you, like where you want. If you want the whole thing in the middle, I kind of like the middle of the rings to be kind of offset. I think that's my preferred placement, but it's totally up to you. Right? That's the great thing about paper crafting. We could all have the same supplies and make something totally different. Oh. I worked out really hard yesterday. Running this through the embossing machine. Ooh, what a workout. Okay, so this guy is going to go right here. Oh, look at that texture. Isn't it gorgeous? And I'm going to, I think I'm about to run out of seal. So I am getting all of the edges. Because this is a 3D folder, it's like extra textury. It's really thick texture, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting all of the adhesive. Actually, you could choose which way you want this. Do I want the ring to be on the right side or do I want it to be on the left side? I'm going to go with the left. Okay, but because this paper is so texture, has a lot of texture. I was about to say textury. I don't think that's a word. And you just want to make sure that you get it stuck on your card base, right? There we go. Okay, so this is the start of our card. Okay. I do have, I thought I had, I guess I'll have to cut it. A strip of the same natural hues, the fiber paper, and we're going to cut it 1 inch by just a smidge shorter than 4 1/4. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 3/8. Or you can literally just move it like on the opposite side of the line, but I'm going to do 3/8 just because. Okay, this guy is going to go down here like so. So let's add this guy. And I like it kind of just a little bit up from the edge of the card. I like that misty moonlight kind of popping out from underneath. But again, that's just me. You do you. Okay. Oh, I still need this paper. Okay, and then I have an inside. I've chosen to use Berry Vanilla, and we're going to stamp on it, so we're not going to add it right this second. But there is this. All right, now let's start working on the focal point of our card, right? So all of these circles, there's 2, the leaves, and then the stamp sentiment. So let's do some stamping. Right? And I should say, I used the circles. I've already cut them out. I used Spotlight on Nature. I mean, these dies are amazing. And oops, I still have to poke a little few pieces of paper out. Okay, so I used this guy and this guy. Okay. So they're going to get layered like this, but we're not going to do that right this second because I have to do something to them first. But I just wanted to show you the dies that I used. Those back. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll do I have this guy right here. And I think I have a Night of Navy blend, and I'm going to do a little speckle. I don't know. My sample card, I don't know if this is going to work. My Night of Navy is pretty shot. Well, I guess we'll use pecan pie. So on my sample card, I did use pecan pie. And I just want to give it a little bit of texture. The reason I'm doing it right this second, because there's nothing else on my mat. And so I'm not going to get ink on whatever, right? Okay. So this is going to be attached. Like so. And I went through a bunch of different circles trying to figure out what I liked the best. I was going to use the shiny paper. Didn't really care for that for some reason. I think it was maybe too busy. So I went with the Cajun Craze two-tone so that I could get the lighter shade of Cajun Craze, right? This is the tradition. This is the true Cajun Craze. This is one step down. It's just a smidge lighter. And so that one. Okay, we're going to do some stamping, and we're going to get the punch out to do the leaves. Now this bundle that I'm using, it's called Simply Leaves. Again, I used it in my live video earlier this morning. I made what I thought was a pretty cute card. Yeah, we're going to do this so that we can build the focal point. So I'm going to get That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my ink. So pecan pie, misty moonlight, and decorate my house in those colors. Okay. So this sentiment says a little something to say hello. And this is just a scrap, very vanilla. We're going to stamp it in the middle like so. So there's that. Now I have this natural hue. We're going to take this leaf right here. So this is just like the vines, the veins. That's what I'm trying to say. The veins of the leaf. And then we're going to stamp it on this guy. And then cut it out. I'm going to trim this up just a little bit to see. Get it there. There we go. Okay, so here, like so. And I'm actually going to wrinkle this guy up too, just to give it even more texture. I'm just gonna be careful that I don't tear it, but I just wanted to give it some more crease lines. Okay, like that. So we have this guy. We have this guy that we're going to just chop this off at an angle. It's going to go like so. Now, I also want to cut out a leaf out of this. Yeah. Ooh, sorry about that. Out of this shiny paper. So we're just going to do that. All right, so I want this guy behind because I want the focal point to be this guy that I stamped. Okay, so we're kind of getting there. We are going to add dimensionals. And like, oops. So that guy in the middle. I absolutely could not put these going opposite directions than the angle I cut. I won't say I'm OCD, but I could not do that. You guys have a little bit of that too, maybe? Let me know. Okay. We are also, okay, so let's see. This is getting like this, like this. I'm going to add this guy. I'm not going to put adhesive all the way down the leaf because it might stick out just a little bit. And I, you know, don't want it to stick to this part, the textured part of the card, because then you never open your card up. So we have this. We're going to add this guy. Like so. This paper, like it's so fibrous that when like it's coming off on my finger, the adhesive. So just be careful with it. And this can, oops, yeah, there we go. Okay. I was going to say it can't be attached to this, but I don't have the circles attached yet. So let's do that. We're only going to do half. Oh my goodness, that was almost a big mistake, right? We're only going to do from this side over, like so. You guys see that adhesive there? Again, otherwise you'd never be able to open up your card and see all the pretty work. Okay, we're going to add this guy like this. Oh, you know what this card needs? This card needs bling. I have to walk back and get some. Oh, I have some in the basket. Silly me. Okay, that. Now, we are going to do, we're going to color some twine. So, yeah, baker's twine. I have baker's twine. It's white. I don't want white on my very fall, autumn, very vanilla kind of card, right? So, where's the twine? I'm going to take some baker's twine. I'm going to take my Night of Navy blend, and I'm going to color, oops, this twine. Okay. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. Is it going to get the job done? Yes, it will. Okay, now I'm using a scrap piece of paper, right? Because this ink will go kind of everywhere. Doing a little bit more than I actually need because when you tie a bow, it's easier to get the bows right if you have if your piece isn't too short. So don't be stingy when you're trying to make a bow. Okay. Now, I'm going to flip this, fold it like this, and I'm just going to pull it through. And that is hopefully going to get some of the ink off. If I need to do it again. Because I just don't want all that ink on my fingers. Because I just worked really hard on that card. Right? I don't want ink on my fingertips and then have it go on the front of the card. So, oops. Everything's falling. Okay. So let's cut this and we're going to tie a bow. Put this back. Okay. So there have been times where people have asked me to teach a class on how to tie a bow. I don't know how I tie a bow. I just do it. Okay. Like this. You just kind of play with it. I think if you give yourself more ribbon or twine than you actually need, like I said, I think it's just easier. So I am going to get some glue dots so that we can put it on the back of the knot. And we're going to scrunch that up a little bit because we don't want to see it. I'm going to add it to the top right here. Like so. And then I'm going to trim it. And go shorter because I don't want all that white showing. Okay. So there is our bow. Okay. And now let's get some bling, and we have to do the inside also. So where's my inside? Okay, I want this to say, thinking of you often. There's some people I've been thinking about lately that I would totally send this to if I had their address. Yeah. I've been thinking about one of my old coworkers, and I don't know. Okay. Oh, I meant to do that in peacock pie. Oh well. Oh, misty moonlight it is. But we're going to take this big leaf and we're going to stamp it on the inside also. But because this is such a big flat surface, I'm going to use my foam mat to do that. Just because it works a little bit better. Okay. So I think I'm going to stamp it right here. We're going to, there we go. Like that. We'll add it to the inside. And then we will be done except for bling, which I have right here. I'm going to put it right here so I don't forget. Do you guys forget bling on your cards? If I make samples, I usually don't forget bling. And then I come over here on camera and then I forget bling. Crazy. Okay. You could definitely put a piece of designer series paper here. You could put one here too. But I like all that misty moonlight, just showing off. Okay. These are, what are these? These are earthy matte dots. I kind of forgot to look to see if they're still available. But we all have bling in our craft stash, don't we? I think we do. And so I'm going to add some let's see. I think I might go with this. I don't know what color this is. It's not Misty Moonlight, I don't think. Oh, I don't know what color it is. I'm trying to blank. You guys know. Tell me, please. All right. This guy. That guy. Oh my goodness. I love this card. All right, so here's the sample card. I made it kind of like just the way I did. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't, except for I forgot to put bling on this one. We'll put some, this has to be pecan pie bling. Oops. There we go. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. If you've stumbled upon this video and you've lasted till the very end, thank you so very much. I would love a thumbs up or let me know that you watched. Make sure you're signed up for my email. That link is in the description. Every Wednesday, I send out an email letting you know that the Funfold video has dropped. And it comes with a what do I call it? A recipe card, which is just the measurements. So, it'll say Misty Moonlight card base and the measurements and where I scored it at. I do talk about them here on the video, but it's always nice to have them written down. You could print those off. It's in PDF form, so for you to save. Okay, guys. Like I said, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. I'll be here next week, and hopefully you have a little time for some paper crafting fun today. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.